Thank you all so much for stopping by today. So I really wanted to make this video because I'm hoping that this video goes to a bunch of people, because I know I am not the only one who has experienced this. And y'all, this is going to be kind of like a story time, but kind of like somebody has to know what's going on, and I'm not making this up. So I'm going to give you a brief backstory. I would sit down, y'all. The pollen is crazy, and we haven't pressure washed anything off, so I gotta water some things in the garden. So let me just get right to it. So let's go ahead and let's get started. Okay, so I feel like I need to go back in order to bring you to where we're at today. But if you're new to the channel, we recently moved here. Is this going on our second year here? Maybe second year here. But when we bought the house, it was more toward, and moved in, it was more towards August of 2023. I got some raised beds built. We'll call it phase one of the garden, but I didn't do a whole lot because we were going into fall. I dug a couple of in-ground beds because I quickly filled up those raised beds. And then when we got to 2024, we got phase two of the garden and the herb garden built. Okay, so this started happening early this year, and I cannot figure it out, but I just got so frustrated to where I was like, I'm gonna look it up, and I'm also gonna make this video to see if I am the only one that has ever felt this, because when I tell my family about this invisible bug, they seem to think that I'm just making stuff up. So last year, when I just started gardening, I would come out and I would get this pop, like something would pop me, and it would sting, and it would itch, and it would hurt, and it would swell for about a week. And so first I was like, I don't know, because every time I looked around, every time I looked on my skin, it was nothing. So I talked to my friend about it, and she said, it might be yellow flies, because they, real quick, they pop in, pop out, but I never seen anything flying. And so this went on, and it will really piss me off, y'all, because I'm like it will pop me, and then how I've been bitten by fire ants, but you will see the fire ant and you can get it off of you. Whatever it is, you could never see it. Like, I would never see it. It just happened. I knew it happened. I could see the bumps on here. Then it would start to itch, it would start to swell, and like nothing. Okay, so that went on, and it was in different places. And now that this happened to me yesterday, at first I was like, I know I'm not allergic to gardening. Okay, y'all, I've been gardening for like 20 years, although we just moved here. And so I'm like, am I allergic to this soil? Like, what is going on? And so it got so bad last year that I just used to get pissed. When I got popped, I was like, oh, whatever, okay, let me, when I was growing up, it was always put some alcohol on it. And the green was the best, according to my family. Get you some green alcohol. But every time I got popped last year, I would look, see nothing. I don't have green alcohol, but I go get the alcohol. But what really helped me was by making my calendula salve, which I only have a little bit of, but I do have the calendula oil to make more. And then also, I would do the calendula salve. And so then I started making my own natural spray that had like lemongrass and rosemary and lavender. So I would make my own spray. I spray it on, but I would still get popped. That's what I call it. I'm like, it just pops, pop in, pop out, still get popped. Okay. So I got through that. And so yesterday I was in the garden, and this is why I say from now on, when I get popped, I really need to stop and say, what were you doing? Because now that I'm remembering, I think it was every time, because y'all know we did Pollinator Island, and then we also made like some new garden beds. And it was like, does this only happen when I'm digging in the in-ground soil? So yesterday I was cleaning out and cutting back some perennials of where the beets are at and where perennials are at. And then all of a sudden I was like, and it makes you say, ow. So I was like, don't tell me, don't, it's too soon for them to be doing this, right? So that's how that happened. So as soon as it happened, y'all, I checked my hand. I'm like, okay, let me see if it's a bug. No bugs, nothing in sight. And I have, I've learned the hard way. Come out with long sleeves or come out with a jacket. I put my gloves on. Now, it is a gap in between the gloves and my skin. And I'm like, you can't put rubber bands on your wrist because you're going to stop your circulation. But I'm going to show y'all. I don't know if it'll come up or not. But can y'all see like the difference? So this arm has swollen, and then you got one, like they got me 3 times. 1, 2, 3. This arm is swollen. This one is okay. I don't know if it'll come up or not. Chris is like, yeah, I can see it. And it's hot to the touch. And because I'm dark skinned, you can't see that it's red, but I could see like a little bit of red tone to it, but it just itches, and that's where the calendula salve comes in at. And, so finally I just came in and I was like, it's no way that this is already starting up. Like, I just don't believe it. So at that point, I stopped, I looked, I did not see anything. And I'm like, I'm not about to deal with this year. Y'all know my favorite word. Like, I'm not about to tolerate this disrespect, because you're not going to make me go in the house when I'm gardening. I've been doing this too long. Like, what? I'm going to figure out what this is. And so I just went ahead, did my alcohol, did my calendula salve. I've been putting on like multiple times today. But this morning I got up and I was like, ain't nobody gonna make me think I'm crazy. So I Googled, is there an invisible bug that can bite, that can leave a mark, that can make you swell, and itches really bad? And what I got was chiggers. They're like microscopic. And I was like, chiggers? Like, I've heard of chiggers, but I'm like, chiggers? So I redid it. I was like, like, I've heard of chiggers, like, just say in the woods or something like that. But I'm like, okay, now we got trees around, but chiggers? Like, okay. So I looked up several resources, and it was like, yes, they are microscopic. You cannot see it with the naked eye. And so I'm just like, okay, so this is what we're going to do. So first of all, y'all let me know if you've ever experienced anything like this. And if you, what was it? But what I'm going to start doing is I'm really going to pay close attention. So like yesterday with the gloves that I had, so I just took those gloves off, put on some plastic gloves, then put those gloves back on, but it's still like an area that soil can touch my skin. Even with me having long sleeves, like once you put it down and you're working down like this, like it could still touch. So one of the things that I said is, at that very moment, I'm going to stop. What were you doing? Were you messing with the in-ground soil? Were you doing something in the raised beds? Were you doing something in containers? So that's going to be the first thing, because I promise y'all, every time, like, it will make you take your gloves off and it itch so bad. But that's the first thing. So we're just going to do it in phases to try to figure out what this is. It may be chiggers, but I was like, I just thought that they were in the woods. And then I did like what do you call it? Like, I looked at the images, but I'm like, well, if it says it's microscopic, you can't see it with the eye, so I can't see it. I'm like, is it something in the soil? Because y'all know, let me tell you about soil. Soil has like if you put soil under a microscope, you'll see like a whole new world with the soil. And so I'm just like, this is not going to stop me, but I'm just going to have to find a way to keep it from happening so much. Okay, so we're going to document this. We're going to keep you posted. But right now, like early before the season even kicks off, I got it. And I got to plant spinach, y'all. I got to water some stuff. But, like I said, it's a discomfort. And I've been told that my pain tolerance is really high. But this is something that will make you like just stop and just grab whatever. And if you could just feel the warmness to it. to my arm. And it just depends on how many times they pop me. This one, like I showed you, I got popped 3 times all at once. Sometimes I'll get popped once, sometimes twice, you know, so I don't know, but I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to maybe spray my hand with my spray before. I don't know if that'll help, or like put a barrier on my skin before like the soil can touch it. But again, if you have ever experienced anything like this, put it in the comments, because like I said, I've been bitten a lot by, you know, I've been stung by bees, I've been bitten, but nothing, like every time it leaves, like I can see what it is, or I know what it is, you know. Y'all remember the whole spider story, but I'm just like, nothing like this I have never experienced. But it is irritating, you know. It just, every time I get popped, I'm just like, it got me again, whatever it is. And that's why I'm like, the invisible bug got me again. You know. But I'm gonna get ready to water a few things up, because we've been having really nice weather, a lot of pollen falling, but I have a lot of containers that I got to put those plants in. And remember, the smaller the container, the more often you have to water it. So I want to go ahead and get those watered, and then get my spinach planted, and so we'll go from there. But again, y'all, let me know in the comments if you've experienced anything like this, because I would be more than willing to research this even more, because I want to be able to say positively, yes, this is what it really is, the invisible bug that is biting me. So as always, thank you all so much for watching this video. Make sure you share this video with your family and your friends. And if you're not a subscriber, go ahead, make sure you tap the subscribe button. Also make sure you tap the bell so that you can receive notification each and every time we upload a new video. Again, thank you all so much for watching, and until the next video, bye bye.